This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. And before we came on the air, we were talking about DuckTales, which I guess we're, yeah, right? Go ahead, do it. DuckTales.
Woo!
Yeah, right. It's, I think it's probably, it could be on the level of like the most underrated song ever, because just hearing it just always makes me want to fucking dance.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good song. That and the theme song to Hey Dude. That old like Western TV show from Nickelodeon like back in the day.
I don't know if I know that one. Hey, dude.
I'll play it on the air. I don't care. I don't think we get demonetized for it. I think you'd like it. Yeah, remember Salute Your Shorts?
Just barely.
You remember the Adventures of Pete and Pete?
Mm-mm.
Well, this is all like around that era.
Gotcha.
So, hold on a second. Let's
Oh, I don't know shorts. Now that I pulled it up.
I don't know if there's any better TV theme songs than what came out in the 90s.
No, the 90s was just the GOAT.
It's, man. That song, like, so I haven't heard that song since the 90s until it came up on TikTok. And there's this guy, and I can't remember his name, and I'm not going to look it up. Like, he does these, like, little videos where, like, he pretends to be, like, a music producer going into a studio saying, like, hey, we need
that guy.
like this. Yeah. And that was one of them. So, I think the most popular one was the Sonic Panic Drowning or some noise. Or some video game Panic Drowning. I can't remember what it is, but it's like the whatever that is. I don't know. Get that. Anyways, Joe, how you doing, man? You good?
Sorry? I'm fine.
You good? How you doing?
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm all right. I pulled up the Sonic Drowning music, and it was so loud it drowned out Skype.
Solid.
Yeah. And so
that's
why I couldn't hear you.
There's priorities. It's fine. Yeah.
I just wanted to hear it, see what it. I thought I remembered it, but I just wanted to know. I'm all right. I'm all right. It's been a weird week. We'll talk a little bit about it later, but during the storm, a tree came down at the church. So we've been dealing with that, and we've been dealing with water issues in the basement at the church that are finally being fixed. And Maddie has COVID that she caught at work, so that sucked. But
do can they now establish like what strand and like variant of it is, or is it just?
I think they can. I don't know if they did.
Okay, I don't, because I mean I still don't know if like COVID. I mean, obviously when you take a COVID test, it's just like you have it or you don't have it.
Right.
Well, I could imagine. I guess they would know the type of variant it was unless they did like blood work and all that stuff. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, so they can do genetic testing on the virus from, I think, after the PCR, which is the test that they do to confirm it.
Yeah.
To confirm that you have it. But I don't know if they did for her or not. Because I think to some extent the treatment's the same. And it's at our age, level of health, and monetary level, it's stay home and drink fluids until you're better.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got COVID. What do I do? Best of luck.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So, and at least, since she's in a hospital system, she can get up to 22 days of quarantine if she still is testing positive by like Monday. So that's...
not to deep dive into her business too much. Don't know if you can answer this or not. But being home for 22 days, how's that pay wise?
I think she's still been working from home.
All week. Well, that's good then. Yeah, okay. Because I didn't know, and that's one thing that really sucked. Because obviously there was a certain point like when you had COVID and you were sent home, and this was, I think between 2020 and maybe 2021. I don't think they did it past that or not. But like when you had to quarantine for 2 weeks, you could file for unemployment and be on unemployment for 2 weeks. And then they got to a certain point where it's like, well, now if you have to stay home, best of luck to you. You got to start, if your company allows PTO, you have to utilize that now. We're not allowing you to sign up for 12 or 14 days of unemployment in order to do that now. So 22 days.
Which is like on its face insane because of how many companies have had record fucking profits.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Yeah, it's just goofy because and I don't know the company your wife works for. I guess I could say sister. It's weird. Is it mean that I never considered Maddie a sister until I just realized that technically she is? By the way, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Last week we talked about it last week, but today's closer to than last time we did. Happy 9 years together. So
9 years. Yeah.
I don't know. In my mind, I guess oh shit, yeah, technically Maddie is a sister.
Yeah. In-law.
Yeah. Sister-in-law. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad's goofy, by the way. I don't know why that made me think of that, but yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just weird. He's like, because I love Carl to death. I do. I just gotta keep remembering he's a 61-year-old man and he says goofy shit. But he always had that thing of like, he's like, this is my son Travis. He's my stepson, but I don't like to use the word step. And in my mind, I'm like, well, that's really sweet of you, but why even say that then?
Right.
It's like, but
because he's got to explain it.
Right. He has this because he doesn't want that lull in the conversation. And I totally get it. It's like, oh, it was so sweet. It's like, this is my son Travis. Oh yeah, I do, Travis. Oh hey, he's like, yeah, he's my wife's kid, so he's my step kid. But I don't like to use the word step. And it's like. He didn't ask that part. It's not like he said, geez, you guys don't look anything alike.
Why not just say what he could say, instead of using the word step, he could say, it's my wife's son.
Yeah.
But he's my son too now.
Right. That's sweeter. But instead he has to, back in my day it and really detail out the weird parts of it. But, I mean, I guess it's weird because I do the same too. Like when I'm on online dating and we're talking about getting to know each other and they ask about siblings and shit, and I was like, yeah, I have 6 of them and shit, and they're like, oh god, really? And I was like, yeah, I got a biological brother, I got a biological sister, I have a half sister, and then I got 3 stepbrothers. I'm like, oh wow, and then I was like, yeah, and one's married, so I got a brother-in-law. I got another one who's married, so I have a sister-in-law. I got another one who's getting married, so I'm gonna have another sister. So it's like, yeah, there's a plethora of them. They're out there and about and everything. And then when you sit there and say it's like, oh, so you're and obviously I tell them my mom got remarried and everything. It's like, oh, so your mom and stepdad has a kid. I'm like, let's
not go that far.
Yeah, that's where it gets more Illinois hillbilly.
Yeah, I just leave it. I go because my mom's husband has 3 kids also, and so I just tell people, oh yeah, there's like 10 of us. There's 3 of us who are biological siblings from my mom, and then I got 4 on my dad's side that came in through marriage, and 3 on my mom's side that came in through marriage.
Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Okay, so us. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Make that family tree. Joe, what are you freaking drinking?
I got a nice cup of coffee made in my Mocha Master.
A new blend or similar blend to what you've been doing?
It is the Modest. I don't remember the name of it.
Mouse?
Modest is the name of the company.
Oh.
I think it's just their normal blend, their house blend. Gotcha. I think it's from Ethiopia though.
I don't get that.
What about you?
I'm drinking Shine Water.
What is Shine?
It is a nutrient-enhanced water that is loaded with antioxidants, vitamin D, and electrolytes. 0 sugar, has a lot of vitamin D, and it's mixed berry flavor. I'm going this time. Spoilers for our next episode, I will be drinking a peach mango.
Nice.
So
I just have more coffee in this carafe.
You remember vitamin water?
Yeah.
When that came out? This is like that, but better. Because it's actually like, it tastes like juice.
Ooh.
So it's like, because my mom always finds these like low sugar, low calorie drink alternatives. And she's like, oh, have you tried this yet? Oh, have you tried this yet? And it's like, not really. Because I don't venture out and explore all these things. I set in my ways of, black iced tea, water, sugar-free sodas, sparkling ice, stuff like that. But then she found these. It has vitamin D and B12, has antioxidants, has electrolytes and everything. It has 15 calories in it, and it's only like 2 grams of carbs. There's no fat, there's no protein. It's delicious, and I love it. And it goes well with the sparkling ice I have, the carbonated hint that I have, and a couple of Ghost energy drinks. So
nice.
I'm really trying my absolute best to stay away from sugary drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is awesome, but at the same time, it sucks because now I have an overabundance of drinks in my fridge, and I got no room for the milk that I need to ultimately go buy this weekend when I go grocery shopping. I'll have to start slamming some of the stuff to make room for it, because I don't want to pull it back. I mean, I guess I could pull it back out of the fridge and it could warm back up. It's not like beer where it's going to skunk or anything, but
right. You still got the garage fridge? You could throw some of it in there.
I do have the garage fridge. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that. Yeah, I think I still got stuff out there from when my appliances went out. I probably have to. I think it's just like a jar of olives and God, I don't even know. I have to look. Yeah, maybe some questionable shit. It's time to go. I'm not a big cleaner of the fridge. I think
same.
People are.
Yeah.
The thing that I need to clean out, and I wish I didn't, and I'm gonna have to do better on in the future, is I throw a lot of veggies away, and I need to work on that. Like, just because there's a sale of buying 4 bushels or whatever those containers are of like mushrooms, doesn't mean I need to buy them, because I'm not going to go through all of them by the time the mushrooms go bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do mushrooms freeze well?
I haven't tried it, but it doesn't. To me, I don't think it would. Like, I don't. I don't know. I feel like the porousness of it wouldn't. But that's interesting to think about, because I got a 5. Yeah. Oh,
it worked
freeze
better.
them afterwards.
Better.
I definitely cook them. Yeah, like I throw them into like omelets or mushroom Swiss burgers and stuff like that. So once in a while we'll eat a raw mushroom. It's just not the same for me.
The only way I like a raw mushroom is with ranch.
Yeah, see, even then, like if I was to, like, throw it in a salad and stuff, and I'd be chopping it up, I'd just throw bits and pieces into my mouth.
Yeah.
And shit.
A salad is good. I like a raw mushroom salad.
Yeah. It's just,
You know what I'm putting on that salad? Ranch.
Is that your go-to salad dressing?
Yeah, I would say so.
Is it?
Well, yeah, for the most part it is, because it's just, you know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah. You know what's the best? You know what the best salad dressing would be for any salad whatsoever?
What's that?
Creamy garlic.
Mm,
I think it's
creamy garlic or creamy Italian were more available.
Creamy Italian, yeah. I can never do, and I will never be the type of dieter that just puts olive oil and shit on their salad. That's not me.
Yeah.
Or oil.
So
whatever,
I do like, you take like a small jar.
Yeah.
And you put 1 part olive oil, 1 part Dijon mustard, 1 part like a red wine vinegar or something like that, and then some salt and spices, and you shake it until it's emulsified. Real quick little vinaigrette. That I like to do that sometimes.
There's a video. I think it's on TikTok or it's on Instagram. I don't know. I spend a lot of social media. I developed. I don't know if you go on Instagram a lot.
No,
but
I don't.
you may have noticed when you do. I send out a lot of videos to people on a regular. And I don't know why it is. And for those listening, you can tell me if I'm a horrible person or not. But depending on the video that pops up is who I send it to. So if it's like religious based, I send it to you. If it's about farts and poop, Sherry. If it's about shitty relationships, Ashley. It's about shitty women, Nick. And if it's Mexican based, I send it to my friend Diana. And most of them are like when you invite a white man into your Mexican family, shit like that. So like it's like white guys dating Latinas, which I guess might be a little bit horrible because, well, first off, she is Latina, so
yeah, you trying to date Diana?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. She says she listens to this show, but I don't believe her.
Sorry.
No, it's she. We worked together at Intertech, the first go around and shit, and then she ended up taking a job out in Houston, Texas. She ended up getting a lab manager job. Fucking deserved it because she crushed it in that lab doing everything. So she lives on Houston right now, and there's always been like a weird joking thing between us where like I'd always joke about like, oh yeah, eventually you're gonna move back because you're gonna miss me too much, and shit like that. And she built her life down there, and she's doing these what the hell are those fucking lunatics doing down there? Running. Marathons and stuff.
Texas?
Yeah. Bettering their lives and shit by being healthy. I think she was doing park yoga one time. Fucking lunatic. But no, she actually looks really great. She definitely is making the best out of what Houston has to offer. Surviving hurricanes and shit like that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is she okay in the hurricane? I know it was really bad.
You know what? I was worried for her, and then we went through what we went through, so I don't care. She's fine. She'll deal with it.
Yeah, our power didn't go out for 6 days though.
You know what? It's fine.
That's fair. I don't want to make you worry about something that you don't.
She's okay. I don't think. I mean, she's responding. She's reacting to my videos, so she's still alive. It's fine.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, it was it's interesting because like I always send out different videos to different people, and every time I send a video about like when you bring your white boyfriend to your Latina parties and shit like that, in my mind I'm like, I don't know if this is kind of racist, but I'm segregating my fucking videos to certain people and shit. But you know what? She enjoys them, and I was like, I'll take that because I know deep down eventually she's gonna realize this is the guy I need to be with, and I don't know if she listens to these with her boyfriend. If she does, I'm sorry, but if you saw a video of what I look like and I've seen a picture of what he looks like, she's not gonna leave fucking that fucking marble statue for this beanbag chair, so it's fine.
I mean, I've slept on a marble floor before, and I would prefer something like a sofa.
Yeah, but you know what? I bet if you slept on a marble statue, you'd feel partially safe for a moment. Because gargoyles would run through your mind like maybe.
So, I'll concede the point. I don't want to get into it. I know too much about the structural integrity of marble.
Is marble not sturdy?
No.
Oh, it's not?
Particularly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have like in the and some marble is better than others, but like so like the David. When you think about a marble statue, a lot of people think of the David, the King David statue. Its ankles are so weak that they have to actually monitor how much stress they're under from people walking through the gallery. And if there's too many people walking through, they have to limit the number of people walking through, because his ankles will snap eventually one day.
Is the David the statue with that's armless?
No.
But there is a statue that's armless.
Venus de Milo, I think.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, though, me and a lot of those fucking marble statues are a lot more in common than you think, and it ain't the abs. I do want to stay on the topic of weather and the storms that came through Illinois over the week and everything, which, again, hopefully everyone down in, Houston's okay, but, we also struggle and nobody's reaching out to us. There we go. That's my guy.
Yep.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing, too. For those of you who are wondering, I'm looking at a picture of the, porn that Joe just sent me.
Yeah.
But it was a Greek. I mean, it's visual public porn. You go watch, go stare at the David. I don't know why I made it bigger on my screen. Clearly, I saw it in the corner. Because I know there was a lot of jokes of the armless one. I guess the armless statue was a female one. Where I guess her arms were like over her head holding something and it broke off. Oh. Maybe that's the structural integrity of the marble. I don't know. But this dude is sitting there hanging fucking brain. Just nonchalantly. I don't know. Is he eating a fucking apple? Like, what's in his hand?
I believe it is a rock, and he's holding a sling in the other hand, because it's this is right before he's supposed to face off against Goliath.
Oh, so it's that David.
Yep.
You know what? I'll tell you right now, though. He has taken my fight technique. I'll tell you that. Drop pants before a battle.
Drop and drop. Yeah.
I see nothing in his hand. The one that's like looking like it's itching its thigh.
Yeah.
But to me it looks like dude's about to eat a fucking apple, standing there naked and shit. But I will say, dude's got cankles, so I don't know if you have to worry about them snapping anytime soon.
Yeah, the one is backed up against like a tree stump for extra support.
Oh, so is that not like originally part of the statue?
No, that's part of it. Yeah. He's in a stance that's called contrapposto.
Okay.
And so all of the weight of the statue really comes down through that leg that's attached to the stump.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. And good. Who did this statue?
Michelangelo.
Gotcha. Good for
actually,
him.
I was wrong. Now I pulled up a side picture of him. He's got the sling in the hand that looks like he's about to eat an apple. And so I think there's a rock in the other hand then.
So dude was left-handed.
Yeah, maybe. Never thought about it.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, unless this picture is taken where it's like reflective, like backwards and stuff. But I mean, the thing you're going to shoot the thing off with, you won't put it in your non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Good on Michelangelo for getting the nipples right.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah, honestly, even like so one thing a lot of people think about, and I mean you joked about it being porn. Obviously he's naked, right?
100%.
A lot of people will joke about the fact that his genitals are so small.
Yeah.
But one of the things, there are two reasons for it. One.
Oh, can I guess?
What's that?
Can I guess what the two reasons are? I don't know them, but I like to take a guess.
Sure.
I feel one of them is to not take away attention from the statue itself. So they minimize the point where they feel it's not as important.
That fits in with one of the reasons.
Okay. Secondly, it's to scale, and let's be honest.
The scale?
To scale, yeah. Like this is true. It's like this is what David's dick looked like, yeah.
And that fits out with the other one.
Okay, awesome.
So the first one, it was actually in the time period that this was done in, it was considered like really rude and inappropriate to sculpt large genitals. They were considered like gauche. You know, it'd be like driving up to a country wedding in a Ferrari. It's just not appropriate, you know?
Gotcha. Okay.
And so you would sculpt the genitals smaller because like it's just more polite that way. The other reason is that if you think about the fact that this is King David as a boy before he goes off to fight Goliath, he is minutes away from fighting and killing Goliath. He's probably terrified. Mm-hmm. And when men are terrified,
yeah.
Which fits with the second one. It is to scale because he's afraid.
Excellent. So for all you men out there who sit there and wonder as you're like, damn, I wish I had more, just know that God did to you, so you didn't have to sit there and be all, boastful to other people.
Yep.
Maybe that's what it is. So go out and buy that Ferrari because, that's what's going to help.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Whatever helps you sleep. I do want to talk about the storms. And first off, I hope Maddie feels better. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I hope the 22-day thing is not something that's necessary.
Yeah. If she tests negative by Monday, she can go back to work Monday at work.
Gotcha. Awesome. I wonder if it's that new flirt variant that's been coming
I think
around.
it is because she did have a sore throat at the beginning of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So luckily she's vaccinated enough that like it wasn't as severe a sore throat as you hear about with a lot of people.
Yeah. You guys, well, I guess not you guys, but are people still doing the vaccines and stuff?
Oh yeah, I get one I think it's about every 6 months they come out with a new one.
Gotcha. And how does insurance work for that? You got copays, or is that still all free?
It's been free every time I've ever gone.
Gotcha. I think it should be. I think insurances do cover. It's not called wellness. It's called something else. But like, I think annual physicals and it's not inoculations. What the hell is it? It's like when you get flu shots and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, inoculations. That is an inoculation.
Preventative health care. I think it's usually 100%. I just got fucking bills for that sleep test I took at home. So that's an awesome $600 I fucking owe. Don't know why. It's fucking gross is what it is. Yeah. Because here I am thinking like, oh, okay, awesome. They're going to give me a fucking test to determine if I'm dying while I'm sleeping. And then they did. And then a month later, here's a bill for $600. But don't worry, we covered half of it. And I'm like, how the fuck does it cost $1,200 for me to have a heart monitor strapped to me at night?
Yeah. Weird.
No fucking clue.
Yeah, I hurt my knee running like a couple months ago.
How's your knee? Good.
And it's great. It's doing a lot better. My back still hurts. I went for a walk last night for the first time, like an actual like 4Fitness walk rather than just a joyful amble. And my back hurts still, but my knee's great. But I went to like a physical therapist for it, and I went to what do you call them? I don't know, like a knee and joint doctor. And she taught me how to do some squats and things for it and whatever, which like, of course I know how to do a squat. I don't need you to show me.
That's right. We all poop.
Child doctor.
That's right.
Sorry. She's the first doctor I had who's younger than me. Weird.
How's that make you feel?
Bad.
I hate that shit so much.
It makes me feel bad.
It's like not
good
only
for them. I just want to be like good for you getting through school, starting your life. You got your own little practice here or whatever. But yeah, and then like I walk out without paying anything, and I'm like, this is sweet. Healthcare is awesome. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm at another doctor's appointment for I got my hearing tested. So I'm getting my hearing tested, and while I'm there signing in, the nurse is like, oh, by the way, I got a bill for another thing. I can give it to you if you want. I was like, yeah, let me see that. What's up with that? She hands it to me. It's like $380.
Yeah. Because of specialists and shit.
And doing some squats. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I was charged $1,800 because the physical therapist showed me how to do a lunge and attach some fucking electrodes to my back.
Yep.
And once I realized, and it was weird because the very first time I went for physical therapy and shit, and they're like, "Oh, would you like a what was it, like an ice pack or something?" Like,
Yeah, you want a hot towel?
Yeah. And
Like
I
a
was like,
$60 hot towel.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I did the first time and everything, and I was like, and after the first day, I went in for my second one, and I was like, yeah, I haven't got my bill yet for it. It's like, oh, well, the insurance will tabulate and everything, blah blah. Said to you, and in my mind, I was like, well, maybe it's just the copays and shit like that. But that's when she told me, she's like, yeah, because they charge for this, and then they charge for this. And I was like an ice pack, like they charge you for. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's not do that anymore then, because I don't know what the cost is, but I don't want to add anything additional. But yeah, I think that 20 minutes that ice pack was on my back, it was like $80. And I'm like, I'm fucking out. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, you just want to call up the insurance agency and be like, hey, you dicks.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry, but I'm spending nearly $4,000 a month, or I'm sorry, $4,000 a year paying for an insurance that I rarely fucking use. And then when I use it, you want to gouge me for this shit. Yeah. I said, like, it was nutty.
And I'm trying to keep myself out of the hospital by getting my knee fixed so I don't actually blow it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. You're saving money.
Yeah, I did see that. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you saw me kind of panic there for a second while you were talking. It was because my screen went black and I thought another fucking computer monitor was going out. Like, it's fine. I'm just like, no, not again. I don't know what the hell it was. I think it was.
Yeah, maybe you got caught up in yesterday's thing.
I found out that I could go to a massage therapist 25 times, or not massage, a chiropractor 25 times a year, and it covers the insurance. It's got to pay the copay. So I got to do that. I got to find a doctor that's within my network and go do that and figure out, because I'm realizing more and more, like, as my back is hurting and I'm not doing anything about it, nothing's going to get resolved. And it's good because of my mind and what everyone says, you listen to like family and friends, and like, it's like, well, Travis, to be honest with you, if you lose a little bit of weight, your back wouldn't hurt as much, and blah, blah. And then you listen to doctors and they say, like, technically the weight's not the reason why your back's hurting. It could be why your knees are hurting, but your back is going to strengthen over time, because as you're carrying the weight, it's going to, compensate and build itself to strengthen for the weight that you're carrying.
Sure.
I know for me, I think it's hip flexor. I still believe it's hip flexor stuff. It's the fact that my hip flexor.
It is for sure for me, hip flexor stuff.
Yeah.
Because the more I stretch them, the better my back feels.
Yeah. So I need to work on stretching more. But it's like, if I'm able to go to the chiropractor for $20 a fucking session, not have them do anything other than adjustments, because I know that shit fucking costs money, the electrodes and all that other shit. I can do that stuff at home. I have the equipment at home. But just going for the adjustments, I think that's the best. And I also thought maybe going in for a massage. Because I think an also issue of mine is I think my back muscles are all tightened up. Because I notice, like, whenever I stand up and I have, like, a weird, like, pain in my back, like, not like the excruciating pain I get when I get out of bed, but, like, sitting up, I tense up my entire fucking body. And, like, I was thinking, like, maybe one of the problems is I keep tensing up and shit for this moment instead of trying to loosen everything up. So I was like, maybe I will go for a massage, but a self-conscious part of me doesn't want to do that, because I don't know how much joy somebody gets out of doing a massage, which they shouldn't get joy anyways. But I guess like in my mind, massage therapists or masseuses are grossed out by touching obese fucking people.
Oh, I don't think they care.
But that's my mindset.
I know it's like a you thing in your head.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna be slain there in my underwear on a pretty much probably a wooden table that I'm gonna be thinking I'm gonna break this motherfucker at some point. That's how I feel when I go into dentist chairs and show. It's like, I don't know what the weight limit's on this shit, but
I definitely would feel safer in a dental chair than in on one of them rickety ass massage tables.
Oh yeah, and I do, and I like if I could look at a dental chair, I'm like, okay, this is new. This could probably fucking lift me up like they would a car in a mechanic shop.
Right.
But yeah,
but I also feel like there's something about that, like, stable base of support.
Yes.
That makes me feel like if it's gonna break, it's not gonna break in a way that's gonna like drop me on the floor. It's just gonna like go straight down.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna fall backwards like I'm in I sat too hard in a recliner. And I've done that before, and it's fine.
I do find the big metal pole that's holding up the entire chair more comforting to be in than the 4 wooden legs.
Yeah, they're only like that big around.
Yeah. It's like I'm fine with you having the 4 legs, but what's the central support? Because the midsection is where most of the weight is at, and I'm going to fold in the wrong way and be in a worse situation, more stress, because now I just broke fucking something. It's just like, so I definitely need to figure out something, because doing nothing isn't fucking obviously helping. So I just wish that the chiropractor that I used to go to, took my insurance, and he doesn't, so I can't go to him, but he's the one that made the biggest change than anyone. But
I pulled up pictures of massage tables. The middle support is they've got supports going from the middle to the legs. That's not so bad.
Yeah,
it's way better than I was imagining, because I don't think I've ever actually really looked at them.
I get all my massage information from Phoebe on Friends, so I'm assuming that massage chairs haven't changed since the 90s. So clearly I'm wrong, but it's possible. Plus, I also believe every massage chair is those foldable carry-around ones too. Right. But I would really love to get a massage and shit, just to see if maybe because I can imagine sitting down wow, you carrying a lot of tension in your back. I'm like, that's exactly what I'm looking at, and I think that'll fucking break. That's just probably made out of fucking weak ass bamboo, not the strong bamboo.
That's why they don't sell it on Amazon anymore.
Yeah. I definitely need to do something for my back. Yeah, maybe I will get a massage. You want to get a couples massage with me, Joe? Want to get a couples massage with me? We'll vlog it. We'll have Carter Comics pay for it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, this freaking rub down, whatever.
All right.
Thanks, Doug.
I have had, I think, one actual massage in my life, and it was by this we were on our honeymoon, and my back was hurting, and we were over. Our honeymoon was it was like a weekend at a B&B in Oak Park, so it was kind of a nice staycation, and we walked past this massage place, and Maddie's like, "Why don't you go and get a massage?" And I was like, "Okay, why not?" And in your head, because of TV and stuff, you have this idea that massage is this. It's all really young, attractive people with strong hands. This lady had to be some 63-year-old Swedish woman. I mean, she knew what she was doing, and her hands were strong in a way that only a 63-year-old Swedish woman's hands could be strong. But sexy it was not. It was not remotely sexy.
The last massage I got was a couples massage that I got when I was dating Jenna, so 2011. So it's been about 13 years since I had a massage. So, again, the chiropractor I used to go to that was covered by insurance, his wife was kind of partnered in the business because she was a masseuse that did it out of the same building. So it was kind of cool, but I never signed up for massage because again it was just the whole they're just gonna go at me like they're kneading dough and get a finger stuck in a crevice somewhere and shit, and I don't know. Yeah. So the topic I wanted to cover today, and I think we went long with our lives, so we're not gonna get to all of it. Is the I guess the depressing shit that's going on in the world, and we actually, and I never fact checked this statement I'm about to make, so I could be wrong. But I think this is the first presidential assassination attempt in my life.
Yeah, I think since Reagan.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sure that there were plots against. I think there was a plot against Bush, but I don't know if there was ever actually an attempt.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing
there was actually, to make it relevant to today, even there was a plot against Biden too this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Really? Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
they caught the guy way before he actually started doing anything.
Where was it
like
at?
He posted, I don't remember.
The last I heard, and I haven't been following a lot of news. I've been kind of like zoned into like work this whole week and shit. So the last thing I heard was and again, I asked you flat out, I remember the attempt being on Friday, but you said it was on Saturday. Which I guess makes sense because I think the RNC started the next day or something like that, and he decided to go instead of staying away from it. Is that the attempt happened? Biden did I don't know if you call it a press conference or a State of the Union on it or whatever, immediately following it. But then they also stated that he had COVID. So I wasn't sure if he was going out anywhere or anything, to rest up from being sick. But clearly he's doing better, and clearly my timeline is off if there was a part where he was out and about and an attempt was on him. So, where was the Biden attempt at?
So it wasn't actually a full-on attempt. I'm trying to find.
Just a plot.
I will admit I heard about it on Twitter, and I haven't seen a news article about it. So maybe it wasn't true. Maybe someone was just saying something. But what I had heard was that they caught a guy who was like planning it, and he had like put enough information out online that the feds were like, "Oh, this guy is going to try to do an assassination attempt," and so they snapped him up before he could even leave his house.
Well, is it kind of similar to? And I should do better at actually looking into shit more, but is it similar to that Michigan governor kidnapping? Yeah. They were planning on doing it, they were plotting it, putting it together, but they caught the guys before it actually
That's
went.
What I understand happened. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but they're everything else that happened this week sucked so much air out of the room that I think there just wasn't any left for that.
Let's see.
I don't care. It's not remotely comparable, right? This guy didn't make it as far as actually firing a shot or even being in the same building or area compared to the Trump one,
So in May 23rd of 2023, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this name, but a 19-year-old from Chesterfield, Missouri, drove a rented box truck into a barrier that separated the White House grounds from the public. Shortly thereafter, he was taken into custody by the United States Park Police and was found to have a Nazi flag in his truck. Kandula expressed admirations for the Third Reich and stated his intentions were to kill the president and seize power. That was Biden. Trump had an attempt in September of 17 and November of 17. Apparently there were a lot more attempts than I thought there were in our fucking life. But I don't know if these are. God, again, I don't know. I'm going to quickly run through these. I won't read them through, but I think this one was an actual shot fired. I think all these other ones were just attempts. November 17, a man affiliated with Islamic State, whose name was not revealed, was arrested by the Philippine National Police in Manila. For reporting planning to assassinate Trump during a diplomatic ASEAN summit. September 17, a 42-year-old man from North Dakota attempted to assassinate Trump in North Dakota while Trump was visiting the state to rally public support. The guy stole a forklift from an oil refinery and drove towards the presidential motorcade. I'm sorry, you're not assassinating the president with a fucking forklift. No. Barack Obama had one in 2008 from a United States Marine in Camp Lejeune. 2009 from an Alliance of Civilization plot to assassinate Obama at an Alliance of Civilization summit in Istanbul, Turkey, was discovered after a man of Syrian origin carried forged Al Jazeera TV press credentials was found. November 2011 on Obama, a 21-year-old Oscar Romero Ortega Hernandez was influenced by conspiracy theories and fringe religious viewpoints to attempt to murder Obama. 2011 to 2012, far-right terrorist group Fear, which I've never heard of that group before, plotted to carry out a series of terrorist attacks which include assassinating Obama. The plot was foiled when 4 members of the group were arrested on murder charges. Michael Burnett agreed to cooperate with authorities in return for a lighter sentence. In October 2012, a mentally ill man, Mitchell Kuzik, in Colorado, confessed to a therapist that he intended to kill Obama with a shotgun at a campaign in Boulder. Colorado they have a lot of fucking shootings.
I believe it.
April 2013, another attempt was made with a letter laced with resin was sent to Obama. June 13, 2 white supremacists in New York were arrested for a plot to kill Muslim Americans and other perceived enemies of Israel. And in October of 18, a package that contained a pipe bomb was sent to former President Obama at his home in Washington, D.C.
Oh, I forgot about the pipe bomb mailings.
That does sound familiar. George W. Bush in 2005. May of 2005, he was given a speech at Freedom Square. May of 2022, Iraq citizen in Ohio. Clinton. God, Clinton had...
Are we counting... Sorry, I didn't realize he had so many attempts on him. They're not counting the one where the guy threw a shoe at him, right?
Let's see here. Bush only had 2. Iraq citizen resident of Cleveland was arrested and involved in a plot to assassinate former President Bush based on information obtained from conversations he held with several undercover FBI agents. He was also accused of committing an immigration crime and planning to illegally smuggle Iraq nationals from Mexico in order to assassinate the plot.
Okay, so
no, they did not include the
good.
shoe. Honestly, I thought that was going to be in there because as much as I appreciate people putting their lives on hold to run our country, that dude was dumb. And a shoe probably would have killed him. 100%. Bill Clinton had an attempt in January of 94, October of 94, November of 94, November of 96, and actually October of 2018. Which, again, the package containing a pipe bomb addressed to his wife Hillary Clinton was sent to their home. I forgot about the packages, man. H.W. Bush had one in 93. Jimmy Carter had one in 79. Gerald Ford had one in 74, 75, 75. Nixon in 72 and 74. Kennedy in 60 and 61. We kind of know what happened, I think, in 60. Was it 63?
Yeah.
Truman, 47 and 50. Roosevelt in 33 and 43. Hoover in 1928. Taft in 1909, 1910. Abraham Lincoln in 61 and 64, and then ultimately, I believe, 65. 63? No, 65.
64 or 65. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I think Kennedy was also 1965. It was 1965 though, because there's that whole similarity thing between them.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Jackson in 1835. So those were all the attempts. And then
65, April 15th, 1865.
Presidential wounded. Theodore Roosevelt got wounded in 1912. Ronald Reagan in 1981. And then Trump in 2024. During a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania, former president and at the time the Republican Party presumptive nominee in the 2024 presidential election, Trump was shot and wounded by 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Crooks fired 8 rounds with an AR-15 from the roof of a nearby building outside the rally venue. After being hit in the right ear, Trump took cover and was surrounded by Secret Service. And again, not reading into a lot what's going on, just seeing a few things on the news from that weekend and stuff. I know a lot of people are saying there was definitely a fuck up, but it kind of seemed like Secret Service did a pretty good job as soon as the bullets started flying.
Yeah,
I heard there's a weird 19 or 20 minutes beforehand that there's something.
Yeah, that's what to me here's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was dressed like a cop would dress. I mean, he was just in neutral clothes. And from a distance, a cop on a roof with a gun is just a guy guarding the president, right?
Yeah.
or guarding the rally. And so until he fires the shots, he hasn't committed any felonies. He hasn't broken any laws. And so like the number of people who are like, oh, they should have got him before he fired a shot. It's like he didn't break the law until he fired a shot.
Which and that's the stuff that makes sense, because I know a lot of people say he's like, oh, you can see the Secret Service sniper line up his shot and waiting for bullets to fly. It's like, well, unless you officially know full-heartedly what's going on, you're dumb. And I know there was like one point that they said, like, I don't know if it was like an off-duty cop or a cop who was working, like, security off time or whatever, like came up behind the kid or whatever, and which I guess I can't call him a kid. It was an adult, but young adult.
To me, if you're 20, you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're legally adult doesn't mean you're not a kid.
The thing is, though, it just makes me feel older. It's like, I just, it's like, side note, what's the oldest? What's the age where you cut off kid to a guy?
30 for me.
30? Damn, okay. I'm more like 24.
Yeah. That's fair. So for me personally, the way it felt was like, until I turned 30, I felt like I was a kid. And then once I turned 30, I was like, well, I guess I'm a man now. Like I'm still young, but I'm not a young man. I'm just a man.
Yeah. Which, I maybe that's because of the profession you're in. Because I mean, Jesus was in his early 30s when he died. Yeah, and how many people were he going around calling child? Some people are probably, some 40-year-olds are probably like, dude, what a dick. How dare you?
And I do feel like part of it's probably because like most of the people I'm friends with didn't have kids until they were in their late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I feel like that pushes the age back for when you feel like an adult because you don't have kids.
Yeah.
Because like definitely growing up, I would have thought 24, 25 also, because everyone around me, like I think Ryan was married and having kids by the time he was 24.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, fuck, good. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you said, they can't just be shooting at fucking people without cause.
Yeah.
So, I saw a glimpse of phone footage and stuff of the kid climbing up there and setting up, and it's dark clothes, so it's not like somebody with khaki shorts and a fucking horizontal like striped polo was climbing.
He wasn't
up there.
in like I'm gonna kill the president t-shirt.
Yeah, and he wasn't up there with like a musket. Dude was using an assault rifle that everyone else was using.
Right.
And as soon as the fucking shots started going off, they took their shot.
Yeah.
So 2 people did die. I think one was a firefighter.
Were there 2? I thought it was just the one. Oh, I guess if you're counting him.
That's what it is. 2 including the perpetrator.
Gotcha.
And 4 injured. One of them being Trump, and 3 others. Thomas Matthew Cook was the perpetrator. I think this week they're supposed to have some kind of I don't know what they call it, like a meeting, a debriefing or something about the situation or whatever. Or maybe that's what they did already, and I'm just getting my weeks mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of journalists I follow who have been tracking it the whole time. So I've just every update they have something to add, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah. Apart from Trump, 3 men were hit. Corey Compertor of Sarver, Pennsylvania, was killed. Compertor was 50. Worked as a project and tooling engineer. Was a former chief of the Buffalo Township volunteer firefighters. According to his family and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, he died while shooting his wife and daughter from gunfire. Which, when I heard that fucking broke my heart.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's, I mean, good on him for instinctively doing that.
Yeah.
Two other audience members, David Dutch, 57, from New Kensington, and James Copenhaver, 74, from Moon Township, were shot and critically injured. Both were in stable conditions. On the following day, U.S. Representative Ronnie Jackson made an uncorroborated claim that a bullet grazed his nephew's neck. Okay. Perpetrator, July 14th, the FBI identified 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Cook of Bethel Park, which is about an hour's drive from the rally venue. Cook was believed to have acted alone. The rifle Cook used was legally purchased by his father. According to law enforcement sources, Crook attended Bethel Park High School and graduated from Community College of Allegheny County 2 months before the shooting. He had no criminal record. Crooks was a dietary aide in a kitchen of a nearby nursing home. Some people who knew him characterized him as quiet, which aren't they all?
Yeah.
A former classmate said that he has been bullied every day at school. I did see that interview for wearing camouflage to class. Most neighbors also described Cook as quiet and as a normal person. I think that same interview that they did, I think they also mentioned that he wore masks even up until graduation, which was 2022. So they said even after the pandemic, he constantly wore masks and stuff like that, which I don't see a problem with it, but it's weird that they left it out of this description. Public records have not given any clear indication on Crook's views. His political activities are seemingly contradictory, with no known posts on social media websites or writings indicating his ideology. His internet activity prior to the attacks includes searches related to 2021 Oxford High School shooting, showing interest in carrying out a mass shooting regardless of targets. Authorities have stated that they do not know that his political views were or whether the assassination attempt were related to them. Federal campaign finance records show that on January 20th, 2021, when he was 17, Crook donated $15 to a voter turnout group, the Progressive Turnout Project, through a platform called Act Blue, which is used by Democrats and progressive organizations. He was a registered Republican. His voter registration has been active since September of 2021, the month he turned 18. The FBI said that there had been no indications of any mental health issues regarding Crooks. So he was Republican, but donated to Turnout Project. Okay, so I read it and I'm confused by that.
Yeah. So it just sounds like he's
Republican, but donated to the Democratic thing because he had a better perspective. I don't remember. I have, when I signed up for voting, I know I filled out a voter's card. Do they ask you what your political leanings are? I don't remember that.
So every time I've ever voted, they always ask me, do I want the Republican or Democrat ticket? Like they give me a certain card depending on which way I want to vote. But that's usually for a primary because
yeah, but it says, but that's saying it's like a registered Republican. Like I don't remember
I don't remember ever registering a party.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Pennsylvania's different, or maybe he just felt strongly enough about it to actually register as.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the thing too. Yeah, maybe you have the choice to or not.
Yeah. Because you can be a card-carrying member of a party if you want.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he did. Maybe.
Yeah.
Trump was transported to the Butler Memorial Hospital for examination immediately after the shooting. A Secret Service spokesperson confirmed he was safe. No information about his medical care was given. Trump's motorcade left the hospital at 9:30 Eastern Time, bound for Pittsburgh International Airport. Trump landed in Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey on July 14th and spent the night at Trump's National Golf Club, Bedminster. Bedminster?
Yeah, Bedminster.
Security at Trump Towers and RNC was strengthened after the shooting. He attended the Republican National Convention on July 15th and was bandaged with a bandaged ear. Several RNC attendees began wearing fake ear bandages, not badges, what the fuck is that, ear bandage, during the convention, with the Republican strategist telling the Washington Post it was truly a surreal moment that people are still processing, and this is a recognizable show of solidarity in the memified political moments. Call what you want, that's dumb. It's like the fad reportedly started with Arizona delegate Joe Neglia, with Neglia stating he made his bandage on the way to Milwaukee after seeing Trump wearing one during his first appearance after the attempt. I mean, I'm sure it's cute for people, but it's just goofy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really goofy. I don't. I mean, but I'm also, you know what I will say is that I'm also not a guy who typically wears like a ball cap to support a team or anything like that.
Yeah,
I have a crucifix I wear sometimes, but the chains always break. They get caught on my t-shirts.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I got one on my necklace.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't even identify myself as a Christian outwardly. That's like the most important part of my identity.
The Trump campaign organized a GoFundMe fundraising campaign for the rally goers who were wounded for the wounded or killed, raising over $2 million by July 14th. I can't remember the guy. How do you pronounce the firefighter's last name? Comparator?
I've never heard it out loud, but I thought it was Comparatori.
Comparator firefighter uniform with his name spelled. Comparator was brought on stage during Trump's speech.
That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, with Trump kissing Comparator's helmet, Comparator's funeral was held the next day. I understand why he wanted to do it, but I wouldn't have done that. It's it's maybe down the line if you want to do something for the family and stuff like that. But yeah, I get it's a sympathy
especially
thing.
When like instead of going to the memorial service or the funeral or the wake, you go golfing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Following the shooting, stocks linked to Trump's media and technology interests experienced a significant surge, as well as shares of other companies that would benefit from the Trump presidency, such as cryptocurrency stocks and gun stocks. Trump media and technology groups rose 31%, lifting the stock market value to $7.7 billion, and major cryptocurrency-related stocks, including Coinbase and Bitcoin miners, Riot Platforms, and Marathon Digital, saw increases of 11 to 18. Video sharing platform Rumble, known for its popularity among conservative viewers, stock price jumped 21%. These surges reflect increased investor confidence in Trump's chances of winning the upcoming presidential election. I haven't done research, but when there's an assassination attempt, is it norm for things to increase like that?
So I don't know if there's a norm per se, but because the last time anybody remembers it happened, it was Reagan, and Reagan had a huge sympathy bump from it. Like he coasted to re-election because of the assassination attempt. But there's also been like Gerald Ford, you mentioned. There were 2 attempts on Gerald Ford, and he lost re-election. So it's really hard to say. One of my favorite political commentators, a guy named Robert Evans, he does the Behind the Bastards podcast. He also does a podcast called It Can Happen Here. He was basically like, look, here's the thing about American politics is that anything can happen and frequently does. And so it's really hard to make predictions based on the past because it's happened so few times overall. I mean, we've had 46 presidents and only 3 of them have ever been assassinated. Is that right? Garfield, McKinley. 4. Garfield, McKinley, Lincoln, and Kennedy.
Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, and Kennedy. Yep. Yeah,
so, and there's been a few other attempts, but like, I actually don't remember. Did Roosevelt win, or was it after he? Like, was it during a campaign? You said 1912, so maybe.
Yeah. So 3.5 years after he left office, Roosevelt ran in a 1912 presidential election as a member of the Progressive Party. While campaigning in Milwaukee in 1912, John Schrank, a saloon keeper of New York who was stalking him for weeks, shot Roosevelt once in the chest with a 30-bit caliber Colt. The 50-page text of his campaign speech titled "Progressive Cause Greater Than Any Individual" folded over twice in Roosevelt's breast pocket, and a metal glass case slowed the bullet, saving his life. Fucking luck, brother. Because he would have been definitely along with Lincoln and them. Yeah. Schrank was immediately disarmed, captured, and might have been lynched had Roosevelt not shouted for Schrank to remain unharmed. Solid fucking dude. Roosevelt assured the crowd that he was all right, then ordered police to take charge of Schrank and make sure no violence was done to him. Roosevelt was an experienced hunter and anatomist. Correctly, autonomous. Anatomist. Anatomist.
Anatomist?
Anatomist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I never heard that in that context.
Was that study of anatomy? Oh.
Yeah.
So you're correctly concluded that since he was not coughing blood, the bullet had not reached his lungs and he declined suggestions to go to the hospital immediately. Instead, he delivered his scheduled speech with blood seeping into his shirt. He spoke for 84 minutes before completing his speech and accepting medical attention. His opening comments to the gathered crowd were, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether to fully understand what I have just been shot, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose." Afterwards, probes and an X-ray showed that the bullet had lodged in Roosevelt's chest muscle, but did not penetrate the pulmonary pleura, whatever. Doctors concluded that it would be less dangerous to leave it in place and attempt to remove it, and the bullet remained in Roosevelt's body for the remainder of his life. He spent 2 weeks recuperating before returning to campaign trail. Despite his tendency, Roosevelt ultimately lost his bid for re-election to Democrat candidate Woodrow Wilson. At Schrank's trial, the would-be assassin claimed that William McKinley had visited him in a dream and told him to avenge his assassination by killing Roosevelt. He was found legally insane and was institutionalized until he died in 1943.
Wild. What a wild story. Yeah, so I don't know. More of them apparently have lost than won. So, but yeah, I will admit, like, when the photos came out, especially the one where his fist is up and there's the flag behind him and all that, like, that's such a great picture. I legitimately was like, this election is over. You know, just Biden is so weak right now, and especially the conversation about his health has been so loud.
Yeah.
Like you got a guy who, because he's got COVID, they had to like help him get into the car and like tuck his little feet in before they could close the door. There's video of this compared to, you know, fist up, fight. Come on. Yeah. But he's had no bump in the last week. The polls have not changed, so I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's a nighttime. First off, I think it's great. And I'm assuming it's true that Biden did call him. Yeah. I think it's weird they refer to it because somebody said, I'm not sure if it was Biden. Again, I don't know everything. I just from what I see, from what I read. But it's always social media stuff, so it's never like, you know, diving through. But I heard someone who said Biden stated that he called his friend Donald Trump. I was like, he may have called Trump, but to call him a friend, I mean, these dudes are dicks to each other. And regardless of the whole, because I know, like, you know, everyone looks back at the 2016 election, like where Trump was in his fucking campaign saying, like, as soon as I'm elected, she's going to jail, you know, and all this shit. And as soon as he got elected, they kind of got like I guess civil compared to what they were doing. And obviously, you know, he never pursued charges on her and everything. He just said, you know, fuck it. So I don't know, like maybe these guys deep down are actually civil with each other. They're just wanting to win. And, you know, it's like, hey, you know, like maybe it's like one of those things like, hey, hey, just so you know, I'm pulling out all the stops to win, you know. But at the end of the day, we good. Maybe something like that.
I think they are, in my opinion, they are just. What do I want to say? It's George Carlin, right? It's there's a big club and you aren't in it.
Yeah,
you know, they all have shared class interests that keep them friendly with each other, despite what they say. Because almost everything they say is to pander and get votes and whatever else.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, so this situation with the perspective of what Biden is now. The DNC is coming up, next month? I think August 19th, I think it's starting.
Sounds right.
Does Biden step away?
I have literally no idea.
Because it's happened before.
Yeah. Every couple of days, there's a new leak about how, you know, there's a big speech coming up today, big announcement out of the Biden administration, and everyone's like, is today the day? And then he doesn't do it. So I don't know.
I saw an article, I think the most recent article, it's probably been last night. I saw pop up on Google saying Biden preparing to step away from presidency, or Biden prepares for life after presidency, and It talks about like, because I can't remember the guy's name, and I should. It's whoever took over for FDR when he died. I can't. What the hell is this fucking tall motherfucker too? I can't remember his name. But I believe that
I should know. FDR.
Right?
Oh, Truman.
Right?
Truman succeeded FDR.
No, he didn't. Not Truman.
You're talking about LBJ?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
That was after Kennedy.
Was it? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So
Yep.
So maybe that's not what I'm thinking about. Somebody turned down re-election at the DNC. Was that Lyndon
It was
B.
LBJ.
Johnson? Okay.
It was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay. Thank you. So Lyndon B. Johnson turned down re-election at the DNC. I don't think anyone has done it since. I don't think anyone did it before him. I think that was it. No, well, that's not true. I guess technically Washington decided not to rerun.
Correct.
So I guess them too.
That's about it.
Yeah. So them too. Yeah. So nice company to be in there, Johnson. But so it is possible, Johnson decided he didn't want to rerun again. He turned it down, and they elected somebody else. So the possibility is there. I think the worry is like until they could decide who to replace him, I guess you can't make that announcement. But I mean, wouldn't the logical choice just be Kamala?
That's what I think.
Right?
That's my opinion.
Because the whole thing is because the thing is I don't know who gets to select the fucking VP. I don't know if it's a sole selection of the guy running for president. So I'm not sure if it was Biden or if it's a collective of the Democratic Party that decides. I really don't know. But if you're confident in her being vice president, because if Biden was to die, who's next in line? So it's like, so in my mind, it's like, why do you have to search? Like, why do you have to throw names out like Michelle Obama or the governor of California that I can never remember his fucking name?
Newsom.
Newsom. The governor of Michigan. Like, you're throwing out all these fucking names. Like, who else? Like, don't you already have that person in place right now?
You'd think.
It's nutty.
Yeah, and it makes me nuts. It's wild too, because like these people, a lot of people want them to step down because of the polling, right? And if you look at the polling, it literally, some of the things they've checked is like generic younger Democrat, like not even any Democrat, just younger Democrat, and people are like, yes, absolutely, and that just younger Democrat, no name, polls higher than Biden or Trump, like. And you know who's a younger Democrat than Biden? Harris. Come on.
Yeah, it's I know it's going to be wild. I know it's in Chicago, so that 4 days or 5 days that the DNC's running in Chicago is going to be a hellscape. Busyness. Not talking about Democrats, just busyness. It's going to be.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be awful.
Yeah. I don't want people to assume I'm saying hellscape as in it's going to be chaos downtown.
I truly in my heart of hearts expect like 1968 level rioting.
They talk about that. That's the thing too, man. And it's like it's nutty. And
part of the reason I feel that way is because in Milwaukee, the cops. So like first of all, one thing that happens is around these conventions, they bring in police officers from all over the country. Mm-hmm. Like half the police officers in the country were in Milwaukee for the RNC. It'll be the same thing for the DNC. It's just how it goes. But in Milwaukee, I think they shot like 3 people who just like they just looked mildly threatening. They weren't even doing anything, but the cops were just like, killing that guy. Jeez. And I feel like in Milwaukee, I just feel like in Milwaukee people don't riot. In Chicago though, come on.
Yeah, it's like we got nothing else to do right now.
They're gonna shoot some young kid who's just on his way to the corner store, and that's gonna be it that's gonna spark something.
Yeah, but it's going to be.
Like it's not even gonna have anything to do with the DNC. It's just gonna be the extra people with guns.
Yeah. So it's gonna be August 19th through the 22nd at the United Center. For some reason, I thought it was McCormick, but so it's at the United Center. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, from everything that I'm seeing, from everything that looks, I think Biden does step down, and it's going to be very
I
interesting to
really
see
hope so.
who.
And I wish you would do it sooner than later.
It's a curiosity on why they would want to wait, because the thing is too is like even if they wait until again August 19th, it's like if he makes that announcement on August, or no, I'm sorry, he doesn't get on stage until the last day.
Right.
I think So
Yeah, that's the very last thing that happens is
Yeah.
the acceptance speech.
Yeah. So if he gets on stage, let's say he does very last day of August 22nd, say, I'm stepping down. What you have done now is you have given the guy or girl who's replacing you 2.5 months to campaign.
Yep. Not only that, you've lost the 4 biggest media days that you could use for that person to leverage the media, the mediascape to run. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my big. I don't know if it's a fear or what it is, but like, I feel like that's the kind of person I suspect Biden might be. Is the kind of person who's like, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't run again. I can't win. But if I can't win, no one will.
Yeah, I believe that.
That feels, for a guy who a lot of his narrative is about how he felt like, I came from a working class background and these political elites shut me out year after year after year. And I never felt like I was part of the in group or the in crowd. And even Obama, there's a quote that's like, if you can trust anybody to fuck things up, it's Joseph Biden. Like, So I don't know. It's just like, I just don't trust. It's not that I don't trust the guy, but it's the Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
I trust a pirate to be a pirate. I trust a politician to be a politician. I trust Joe Biden to be Joe Biden.
I feel like dude stuck around 5 years too long.
Yeah.
I think
he should have leveraged his position for the first 2 years where they had the majority in both houses to do everything that you could possibly want on your wish list, and then just said, I'm out.
Yeah.
I did it.
Just because, and that's the thing too, is like, because as of right now, how old is he? 84?
81.
81?
He'll be 82 later this year.
Yeah, so even when he steps away, it's like take what time you have left, man. Like, I get that. He's been in politics.
He looks so feeble to me.
He does.
I would legitimately, if I were him, what I would do is I would wait for Hunter to be like in handcuffs, and I would just say, actually, my son is pardoned. Also, I resign.
Right, yeah, make that last act to get your family collectively, and just go enjoy your fucking life.
Yeah, enjoy the time you have left with the son you have left, and be done.
Yeah,
but that's not how these people think. I don't think, as much as they pretend that family is everything and whatever, I think they legitimately care more about power than about their own family.
And that's one thing. And that's one thing that always made me curious is who cared more about the power, Biden or the party? Is there a point where like Biden really said like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore, but then the party's like, no, we kind of need you still. Like we kind of still need, because it reminds me of like wrestling. Like when I look at professional wrestling, you get like guys like The Undertaker or Mick Foley, where like they're ready to retire, they're ready to be done. Like even though they love it so much and they want to be in it, they can't lead. They can't lead it anymore, and they just want to rest. But then you get a guy like Vince McMahon, which I don't know if you've heard about that. That's a whole nother fucking clusterfuck of who he is now.
Yeah, I've heard. Well, he's actually the subject of several Behind the Bastards episodes.
Yeah. But him come to them was like, listen, I just need one more from you. Just give me one more from you. It's like, I need you. I can't have you go away now because I need you right now. I'll give you this. And it's like you can't turn away because first off, you love it. But it's like fucking A. It's like if somebody walked up to you and said, hey man, I need you to Joe, we're doing something new at the church. 4 services a day, every day for the next 93 days. And you're just like, and if
it meant my church was gonna come back from the dead.
See, and that's the thing.
I would do it.
It's going to grow the population. It's going to you're going to make money, but because you love God, so you do it. And then maybe day 36, you're like,
this was a mistake.
maybe somebody else could maybe somebody else could do like next couple days or something like that. Like, hey, we're doing this, it's great, but let's bring someone else in who loves it just as much, but take the next couple days. But then, the board comes to you and says, yeah, but here's the thing, it's like we need you to do it. Like we need people are expecting you, like you need to do it. It's like we'll bump up your pay a little bit more, but we need you to really stick it out.
So hard to say no.
Yeah, right.
So hard to say no.
Yeah, so I think that's what it comes down to, like the professional wrestling. I think that's what comes down to, like Biden. It's like they found a guy who people know, who is kind of respected in the government. People kind of like him through his vice presidency with Biden or with Obama and everything. Like it's a comfort. It's like we know who we're getting, but they're not getting what they wanted anymore. And I think that kind of ended about 3.5, 4 years ago, when it started trickling downhill. And it wasn't horrible, but the last maybe 2.5 years, every time I see that dude, I just feel bad for him because of physically. Nothing he's saying.
Right. Literally, even in 2020, everyone was like, that guy might be too old. But then the other people were like, yeah, but Bernie's older. Bernie's like 2 years older than him. But the thing is like age. There is an extent to which age is just a number. Bernie, I think, could still run a marathon. Yeah. Biden would trip over his own feet taking 2 steps.
Dude, yeah. Biden
in fact, he's done it on camera.
Yeah, Biden couldn't get off a bike without fucking falling over. I saw it. Yeah. He just. I get that he was the right guy for the moment, but he's not the right guy anymore.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
And
then you got all these people who are like, but there was a primary. The primary voters voted. There were some states that didn't even have primaries. They decided before the primary date happened that he was going to be the nominee from their state, and so they didn't hold one. There are people who wouldn't allow other an actual primary didn't happen. There were no debates. There were no other people to run. And like historically, that's how it goes. If you're the incumbent, the party allows you to be the incumbent. Yeah. But with a guy that old and all of this stuff, like they should have had a real primary instead of the fake thing that they had. Mm-hmm. And now they're talking about having a mini primary at the convention, which I think is nuts. Like just have it be Harris and be done with it. But I guess the same people who are they don't want Biden also don't want Harris for whatever reason. And it's just like, you can have your cake, but you can't eat it too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be interesting between now and August, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. If they're smart, first off, if they're smart, they would make the announcement now if that's their plan. If the overall plan is for him to step away, the smart thing is to do it now. If not now, day one of the DNC.
Yeah. I think it would be the what they should do, what Biden should do, what I would do if I were him, I think. No. Yeah. How do I want to say it? If I were him, but I was still me. Because I don't want that other bit. I don't have the hubris. I just don't have the hubris, I don't think. But what I would do is I would just go ahead and I would resign the presidency and I would put an effective date on it. I wouldn't put it today. I'd put it like effective August 19th or whatever, or August 22nd, or, I don't know. And I would just be done. I would let Harris be president. And then she goes into the convention as the incumbent with, one of the issues is that nobody but Biden or Harris can use the money that has been donated to their campaign. So if they choose somebody else, that's millions of dollars that gets refunded to donors that you have to go beg for again. Uh-huh. And so you might as well.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I thought they donate to the party, not the person.
So some of it is to the party, not the person, but some of it is directly to the campaign. And the only people who can use that money are the ones who are associated with the campaign.
I guess that would make sense because people, when they donate to the Democratic Party, they're donating for that guy. Okay, right. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so they can say it's like if they bring in Newsom. Newsom?
Yeah, Newsom.
If they bring in him, it's like, well, I don't really like that guy. I like Biden. Okay, give my money back. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, right. This entire time I thought like they're donating to the party itself. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it just depends on exactly where you donate and how.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big conversation a couple weeks ago after the debate. Was who can use that money, and it's like, well, Harris can use it. And so then the next issue is so who can use the money? Harris can use it. You already have the vote of confidence if she's the vice president, so you trust her to be president. That's what it means when you pick somebody.
Yeah, that's my mindset. Yeah, it's like that's the next person in line, no matter what. Unless they lose, that's the next person in line.
Right. Exactly. And the other thing is, like, do we need the chaos of picking somebody else who's not her? Because like now you've got to deal with so who are you going to pick? You're going to pick Gavin Newsom from California. Oh, you just think any Californian can sub for any Californian? Why you just the conversation will be, oh, you're just going to pick a white guy over a black woman? It looks terrible. The optics are awful.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Let's say they don't pick Kamala as the candidate.
Yeah.
Is she remaining vice president?
Right. I wouldn't if I were her.
Right. It's like could you imagine? And like the thing is, too, like because the idea of having multicultural presidents, different ethnicities and everything, I think that's what creates America and what makes it great. I think when they appointed Kamala Harris as vice president, I think that was incredible. When Barack Obama won, I think it was good change for the world. Something that needed to happen. I hope down the line, we do have a female president, a Latino president, an African American president. I want that shit because it shows that we're multiculturally diverse and everything.
Yeah.
But I thought it was stupid, that they picked the old white man to be the Democratic candidate to begin with. I thought, they would pick somebody of a different ethnicity or color, whatever. But that's fine. Again, they picked the vice president, female, African American. Awesome. But now if you replace Biden with Newsom, and let's say they pick the Michigan governor as a new vice president, then you're tearing away what your party has been building up is we're so diverse. It's like you have to, if they do pick a new candidate, you have to keep Kamala. You absolutely have to. But then the overall
and for her, the calculus is do I take it as a snub and leave, or do I realize that still the only way I can become president is if I swallow this and do it?
Yeah, and that's what's insane too, because let's say Biden doesn't stand down and he's like, let's go for 4 more years. He's not going to replace his vice president. It's still going to be Kamala.
Yep.
And if he dies, she becomes president anyways. So it's like every situation other than the fact of we have to replace her makes her fucking president. Right. So why not just go that route anyways and allow her to appoint Newsom or the Michigan governor or anyone else? Because she's already there. It's just insane. Because you're either going to make an enemy of her or you're going to put her in a position that she, in any other way other than being replaced, is next in line. It's insane. And
it makes no sense to me. And then also just like, just from a marketing standpoint for the people who somehow haven't made up their minds yet. Yeah. You've got a person who the left for all of 2020 is like, she's a cop. And that was her job was she was a district attorney. She was a prosecutor. Yeah. So you have a prosecutor versus a guy who's a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. There's a certain kind of independent voter who that really works for. Yeah. Like it is such a no-brainer to me. That is baffling. I find it baffling.
Yeah.
And I don't even like her. This is my other problem is I'm sitting here, I'm defending these fucking people and I hate them so much. I just hate the other guys more.
Well, I can at least say, because what is August 19th? Is that a Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Sounds right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So wrong. I think we know August 24th. We're probably gonna end up talking about what happened at the DNC.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be such a shit show. It's
going to be not many things I feel happen in our lives that really impact like 2024 has. Between the Trump shooting, what's going to happen at the DNC, The storms that we didn't get a chance to talk about, but we can talk about on the next show. It's fucking wild. Yeah, dude, it is. I don't know why 2020 has become the decade that has been a clusterfuck in this world from COVID to now, but
it's a weird mirror image of 100 years ago.
It's insane, dude. It is fucking insane. But one thing that's always the same is me trying to figure out what you're freaking thinking about.
Ooh. Oh, man. What am I freaking thinking about? I don't know why this question always catches me off guard. Probably, you know what? I'll go with we just had on Geekcast Live, which you can find Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, depending on when it gets posted, over at violentpress.com or anywhere pods are casted. We just celebrated our 500th episode. Or, actually, one thing Ryan GCR told us on the show, you could count it as our 499th because episode 33 of our show was lost. It was a lost episode. We just had, I think we just posted a video of like Roy Orbison or something, the country music singer. And it never actually, because it's a video to YouTube, that's what we put on our website. We never put it on Libsyn or our podcast hosting.
We did that too. That happened here.
Did it happen here too?
Yeah, we did a conspiracy theory episode that got lost. So you linked.
Was it also YouTube. Episode 33?
I couldn't fucking tell you, bro.
Oh, okay.
I know it's season 1. I know we talked about conspiracy theories. It didn't come through. See, but the difference with us is our Christmas special balanced out our episode number with that. So, but yeah, no, it happened here too. It was some fucking dude playing a piano or played like one key and then just stared at the camera or some shit. I can't remember which. But I know we did the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so we're pretty sure it's our 500th the way that we're counting it, but it could also be our 499th if you wanted it to be.
Well, right now, 499 is the most recent release on Spotify, so either it's later on today or it's tomorrow.
Right? Yeah, it'll probably be. I actually don't know. I don't know. I feel like Ryan has changed his schedule, and I don't know if it's to mess with Nick or because he's busy. Could be a little bit of both, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, probably that. That sounds fun, and it is cool to have 500 episodes under my belt, and it was a weird show, not in a bad way, but we basically made. Have you heard of these one-page role-playing games?
No.
So like Honey Heist, we've done Honey Heist episodes on Geekcast Live before, but basically there are people who they write role-playing games like D&D, but it's all the rules can fit on one page. Mm-hmm. And you can go and they usually put them out for free. You can download it. And there's all sorts of these. But we basically created our own one-page RPG. We called it Troubadour Pile Driver. And if you want to find out more about it, go listen to our show when it comes out.
Troubadour Pile. So it's D&D, but it's a one-page game. So
yeah, it's kind of like D&D, but it's designed to be able to be played in like 20 minutes. So for Honey Heist, for example, you roll a die for what kind of bear you are. You roll a die for what position you play in the heist. You know, like are you the getaway driver? Are you the mastermind? Are you the brawler? That kind of thing.
Gotcha. And
then you roll a die for what kind of hat you're wearing, because that's just fun. And the idea is you have to keep balanced with you're a group of bears trying to pretend to be human to like rob a bank. And so you have to roll dice to determine whether or not you succeed at whatever thing you're trying to do. And you're usually either trying to do something that is bear related, like maul a guard, or something that is human related, like sweet talk your way past the secretary. And what you have to do is when you do something that's too human, you tick up a point in human. And if you do something that's too bear-like, you tick down toward bear. And you have to balance yourself, because if you get too human, you actually wander off from the heist and join human society. And if you get too bear, you leave the heist because bears don't do heists. You got to go fight some bees or something for honey.
You made an entire episode of this.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, so we created our own loose rules for a game, in this episode. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, so it was fun.
Gotcha. Yeah. My freaking thinking is actually kind of on par with that. I found out that there's a brewery, I think it's in Homewood, Illinois, called Rabid Brewing.
Called what?
Rabid Brewing, RABID. They're starting up their own wrestling company. And I was looking up kind of the information on it because I was trying to get the information for the wrestling show coming up this next Saturday that we can talk about on JFW. And I found out that they actually do a weekly D&D night.
That's sweet.
Where like Wednesday evening from like 7:30 to 10 o'clock, you could go play D&D there.
I think it'll be on a Wednesday.
I know. Like, I was looking at it, like, what? And what's also kind of cool is like because they have 3 different levels of it. There's like a child's group, there's like a teenagers, and then there's like the adults. And I'm feeling like, man, that'd be really fun, cool to like do something like that like on a Wednesday night because I don't really go out and do shit during the weekdays. But if it was D&D, like I fucking might have. And I was actually thinking about you. I'm like, how cool would it be if I get with Joe and some people and get together and play D&D? Because my friend Michelle and her husband were talking about, doing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, man, if I could figure out a way to, because I know they had this thing where like you could just join up with like another group like right in the middle and just go. But I think you kind of create your own too. And it's like, man, that'd be kind of fun to go to that. But Homewood is a little bit of a hike for you on a Wednesday night. But yeah, I've just been thinking more about doing D&D and stuff. And side note from that, it was episode 19 of season 1 called Conspiracy. This freaking week, by the way, this is back when you did the show notes.
Yeah.
This freaking week, the crew talks about conspiracy theories. Naturally, the show didn't record properly because we clearly angered a vague but menacing government agency by discussing the topics we discussed. Here's a video to amuse or bemuse you as an apology. John Cage's 433.
Oh, yeah.
Join us next week for our St. Patty's Day special.
I love John Cage's 433. That is hilarious.
Yeah, I guess it is. I don't remember. I haven't watched it in 9 years, so.
Yeah. It's just he sits down, sets a timer, and then steps up and walks away from the piano for 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
There we go.
The music is the noise that the audience is making. It's the sound of the world around you.
Excellent. Joe, congrats on 500 episodes. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
We hit 350 not too long ago, so you're nearly at 1,000 podcast episodes.
Wild.
Right.
Absolutely wild.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on this Freakin' Show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe a week just isn't enough for our listeners and they want to go catch him on his 500th episode, where can he go?
If you'd like to watch our new episode, you can go to the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freakin' Show. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, YouTube, whatever. Just search This Freakin' Show. If you want to watch our podcast, you can do so over at Freaknet Studios, over on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you know when these videos come out. The videos come out after the audio, so if you cannot wait and want to get the audio sooner, go listen, subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you can. So, guys, that's all I got. As always, I am Travis C.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.